What's up, everyone? Welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Video Game Fight School channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. Per request of one of my audience members, I'm going to be walking through some technical based aspects of Gotham Knights that are probably not explained in total depth in the game. And I think for good reason. The developers wanted discovery is, in my opinion, one of the best things a gamer can actually experience when they discover something new. Elden Ring doesn't explain much, but the whole community was just in awe whenever they found something new. And I understand that a lot of casual players would prefer that things be explained, almost in its totality in a video game. But I think this is probably because we've played the Arkham games. Games are designed to pull you in and gave you a lot of tools just on the onset and did a lot for you. So many people were expecting Gotham Knights to take that approach, but it decided to not take the approach. So it seemed like some people have, in a sense, chalked the game up to having poor combat when they are lacking skill in playing the game. It's just the reality. So shout out to Windsor Theater. We're going to look at this particular paradigm today and how it's actually implemented in Gotham Knights. But before we even jump into Gotham Knights, let's look at Mortal Kombat 1 in order for me to be able to kind of drive home what it is I'm about to talk about, which is exploiting gaps in Gotham Knights. So what I've done is I've recorded a string with Raiden, and I'm going to show you some of the really interesting things here. So Raiden has this, string of two kicks where he kicks you high and then he kicks you in an overhead. So if you want, you can block high because both moves will hit you high. This is a high kick and that's an overhead kick. So if you stand block, you will avoid being hit by any of them. If you crouch block, you'll avoid getting hit by the first kick, but the second kick, if you stay crouching, will hit you and it will pop you up for a combo. So you can crouch block first, stand for the second. So there are two different ways to avoid. Stand block both of them, or crouch block the first hit and then stand block the second hit. These rules are very essential in fighting games. And you're wondering why I'm showing you this in a fighting game when I'm talking about Gotham Knights. And that's because Gotham Knights is designed like a fighting game. It's insane to think about it. But in this string here, Raiden string, I can interrupt it too. That's another side of the rule. I can literally hit him with the low attack in between his string and it just stops it. In fact, if I want it to be, a sweat, I can actually hit him with it. Check it out. Oh, I missed that. Hold on. I'm playing a 30 FPS stream, so, and then I can do that. I can even do something weird where I can interrupt his entire string and then combo off of that if I get the opportunity to do it. So, So the rules are changing. And sometimes I could miss, but if I don't time it well, then I have a problem. Now, if the move is coming from a further distance, I can also jump evade, or I could do that. So if you think about gap strings as a product of being able to exploit the gaps, the space in between enemy NPC hits, then you're talking in Gotham Knights as to, I have a lot of options that I can actually exploit to be able to make enemy NPCs hurt. Now you may wonder and say, well, enemy NPCs are going to hurt from me. Well, the reality is, the way a lot of enemy NPCs usually attack in this game, they attack with multiple hits. 2 hits, a flurry of attacks, all of that crazy stuff. So what you want to do is, you want to use their, rage to your advantage. There's a principle in fighting. If somebody is trying to punch you, the best way to actually deal with that person sometimes is to use the person's momentum against them. So momentum-based fighting is what Gotham Knights is actually built around. This is where you, as the character, let me go take this enemy NPC. I want this. I wanted this. I don't want any drones. So you see, I just went in there. So I'm about to get surrounded. Photo mode. Let's go to photo mode. You see, this enemy is about to hit me. So their momentum is coming for a one-hit attack, right? I'm going to use this enemy's momentum against them, and I'm going to use it to my advantage. So momentum-based fighting in Gotham Knight, you could do something like, say, a perfect evade. That's one way that you can actually use your momentum to be able to deal with enemy NPCs, right? In a sense, that's a very simple one. And the thing about momentum based evades is whenever you execute one and then you do a perfect strike, you apply an elemental effect to the NPC if you're using elemental effect gear with Robin. So now she's on the ground, she's got some freeze on her, right? And so I can do that. Another thing I can do too is I can use my special ability to then channel this bullet. If you notice, I'm already, under, this enemy NPC is now aiming at me. They want to shoot at me, right? I can use the momentum of this bullet to not only, attack the enemy, and so I can attack these three enemies that are standing close to me coming together. The enemy NPCs are literally begging for it, but a lot of people just didn't necessarily know. So the gap, the timing between the enemy NPC aiming at me and firing the bullet is me exploiting. So rather than just dodging, I'm going to exploit that bullet. So you see that? That's the gap right there. Everybody froze just from that one bullet. So one bullet did all this work for me. I'm gonna let this enemy NPC thaw, the one that's in orange, because they actually used 2 attacks. Oh, she's dead. Sorry. Now you take that. I'm looking for an enemy that's gonna try to hit me twice. This orange one, she usually hits twice. So she's gonna try one. That's it. That's the gap right there. Did you see that? So she tried to hit me once, and I know because I've studied the enemy NPCs, she tried to hit me a second time, so I used that gap to activate that momentum ability, so she hit it. So I exploited the gap just like I exploited that, Raiden's combo string, and used the space in between to basically go, go ahead and go against her. So this is exploiting of gaps in Gotham Knights.